Hey everyone, I'm SniperKH, and today we're going to be covering the second Grandmaster Nightfall of the season, Scarlet Keep. This strike is one of the more difficult Grandmaster Nightfalls in the game, but with some simple tips and tricks, we can make this GM so much easier. As always, I'll be covering loadouts, subclasses, strategies, and more, so let's dive into it. Beginning with loadouts is a similar situation as last week's GM regarding champions. You need to cover anti-barrier champs and unstoppable champs while also covering arc and solar shields. Diving immediately into loadouts, I will recommend one of two loadouts for your team. The first loadout will see your team running 3 RBs with 2 solar hand cannons and 1 arc hand cannon, and then 3 arc linear fusion rifles. The second loadout I would recommend if you do not want to use linear fusion rifles would be the following. Run 2 RBs and 1 blinding grenade, 2 solar hand cannons and 1 arc hand cannon, and 2 arc rockets and 1 Gallahorn. Some great arc rockets to use are Hothead, Blowout, and Heretic. Regarding subclasses, you'll definitely want some ad clear supers and defensive supers, so I'd recommend any of the following subclasses: Archer, Void, Banner, Titan, Stasis or Void Hunter, and Solar or Stasis Warlock. I'd highly recommend running at least 1 Void Hunter with an Omni Oculus, Trapper's Ambition aspect, and Echo of Persistence for this GM, as it'll make one of these areas significantly easier. Finally, for mods, run resistance mods like Energy Diffusion Substrate and Concussive Dampener, and have at least one player running Lucent Finisher for heavy ammo drops. Now that all that has been covered, let's jump into it. Starting off with the opening, your team can just go invis and run by all of the enemies here. Once you get to the next load zone, there's a skip that you can do that will allow you to avoid killing the champion in this area while also getting credit towards platinum. I'll show the path here so that way you know what route to take. Once you've gotten past that area and drop down, have your team clear out the ads that will spawn here, and get finishers on the champs for heavy ammo. From there, have your team run to the left side to clear out the ads and then grab the arc charge. Once you've grabbed the arc charge, you can have your team climb up onto the roof of the structure by the arc charge building, as this will give you a nice angle on the champ below. Weaken the champion, get a finisher, then dunk the orb. From there, repeat the same process for the other side, and once the second orb is dunked, the bridge will then lower. As your team is crossing the bridge, you'll have some ads spawn on the far side of the bridge. I'd recommend having your invis hunter tether these ads together, aiming for the space in between the main ads and the champion to disorient as many as possible. Once you've cleared out those ads, taken the champion down, and gotten rid of the snipers, push forward for one more set of ads, clear out these ads, and head to the end of the bridge. You'll have some ads, a barrier knight, and a shrieker to eliminate, so use cover, take out acolytes first, and then the barrier knight, and then the shrieker last. Once all ads are dead, run up the stairs and have your invis hunter invis the team past the rest of the ads, and then you're moving on. In the next area, we have the plate section. This area isn't too difficult to overcome as long as you're playing it carefully. Once you've cleared out the opening ads in this area, advance to the plate and have one player stand on the plate while your 2 teammates sit back a bit. When all ads have spawned, have the player step off the plate while everyone clears out ads. Once all ads are dead, hop on the plate to cleanse it. Once that plate is cleansed, have your team go around to each plate to cleanse it. It's worth noting that once you spawn in the wizard on one plate, a barrier knight will spawn in the middle, so have your team kill the knights. Once you've killed the wizard, acolytes, and thrall by one plate, step on the plate to spawn more ads including another barrier champ, in which from there you'll need to clear out these ads and get a finish on the barrier if need be. Once all ads are dead, move on to the final plate, rinsing and repeating the same process. Once all plates are cleansed and all ads are dead, you can move on. Once your team has made it outside, you'll run into some ads on the way, including a barrier champ, so kill the ads and get a finisher. Once you make it onto the keep's platform beyond the cliff, you'll run into some more ads, including another barrier, so drop them and get a finisher on the champ if need be. Once those ads are dead, you'll come across a large group of ads consisting of some sniper acolytes, 2 barrier champs, and a shrieker. So try to kill the snipers on the bridge first, then go for the closest barrier champ. Finishing this champ will open the shrieker, assuming someone is by this barricade. So once the shrieker is open, pop it like a balloon. Once the shrieker is dead, clear out the rest of the ads and get a finish on the barrier knight. Once your team runs by this pole structure, you'll spawn in more ads consisting of acolytes and a barrier knight. Kill the acolytes and get a finish on the knight, and then move on. Once your team gets to the elevator, you're on to one of the hardest parts of the GM, but if your team chose to run Void Hunter like I suggested at the start of the video, then this part will be extremely easy to run. Simply have your team meet up somewhere on the elevator. My team met up at the center, but anywhere works. From there, have your Hunter invis everyone using the smoke bomb, and if everyone gets invis, you'll refresh your smoke bomb, letting you do this over and over again. This will cause your team to not have to worry about the rain of fire the acolytes would subject your team to. At 2 separate points in the elevator ride, you'll be stopped as you'll need to clear out the floor of all the ads. The first floor will consist of 2 groups of acolytes, 2 barrier knights, and 1 wizard. The 2 barrier knights and acolytes will be spread evenly amongst each side, so have your team pick a side to focus on immediately. Once that side is down, kill the wizard, kill the rest of the ads, have your team meet up on the elevator again, destroy the crystal, and then repeat the invis cycle I mentioned a moment ago. Once you make it to the second floor of ads to clear, you will have 2 groups of acolytes, an unstop ogre, and 2 wizards to deal with. For the unstop, have 1 player step into the room to spawn the ogre in, then stun him and kill him. From there, focus on one side's ads and wizard, then do the same for the other side. Once all sides are dead, meet up on the elevator, destroy the crystal, and repeat the cycle again one last time until you reach the top. Once the elevator reaches the top, you'll be in the boss room. I am aware that there is a cheese spot in this room, but similarly to the glass way, I find that spot to be more detrimental than helpful, so I won't be highlighting it in this video. For the fight, have your team kill the 2 wizards by the gate. Once the wizards die, the gate will lower and Hashadun will enter the room. As she is entering the room, have your team run to the little area in the back of the room, as this will be your cover. If you have a stasis warlock, have them throw a bleak watcher turn on one of the sides of the room to cover the ads as they spawn in later in the fight. Speaking of ads, they'll spawn in at certain points in the boss's health bar. So once the boss becomes vulnerable, lower the boss down until you've done a 1/6 of her health bar. This will spawn the first wave of ads, so once they spawn, kill the ads, then divert your attention to the boss. Once the boss has lost 1/3 of their health, ads will spawn, consisting of some thrall, sniper acolytes, and 2 wizards. Focus on the smaller ads first, then focus your attention on the wizards. Once all wizards are dead, the boss will become vulnerable again, so slowly damage her. Once she is at half health, then more ads will spawn. This ad spawn is very crucial to pay attention to, as you'll have some ads spawn in from the back left door in the arena where your team is hiding, and if your team doesn't deal with them immediately, you will be sent back to orbit. Once all ads are dead, focus on the boss until she's at 33% of health. From here, she will spawn in more ads, including the last 2 champions, which are both unstoppable ogres. Have your team stun the ogres while you are killing the smaller ads so that you aren't pressured by them. Once all ads are dead, focus on the ogres, getting finishers on them if necessary. Once all ads are dead, bake Hashadun for an easy completion of the Scarlet Keep Grandmaster Nightfall. Well, that wraps up the second GM guide of the season. If you found it helpful, then consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel for more Destiny 2 content dropping every week. If you need help with this GM or any other GM this season, then stop by my streams that happen right here on YouTube, as I do helps for GMs whenever I go live, and I'd love to see you over there. Finally, check out my social media platforms, all linked in the description below. With that being said, I'm SniperKH, and I'm out. Good luck with gaming.